Okay. Chapters 13, 13. So, chapter 13. And what is the verse? 13?
13, yeah.
13, 13?
Yeah.
Yes, Lord. Okay, 1 second.
Okay, we are ready.
Hare Krishna, my dear devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today we're hearing from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 13, text 13. And it says, Yayam yat tat pravakshyami, yat yat mam utam asmite, anadi mat param dhamma, nasa tan nasad uchite. I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal, Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Lord has explained the field of activity and the knower of the field. He has also explained the process of knowing the knower of the field of activities. Now, he begins to explain the knowable, first the soul and then the supersoul. By knowledge of the knower, both the soul and the supersoul, one can relish the nectar of life. As explained in the second chapter, the living entity is eternal. This is also confirmed here. There is no specific date at which the jiva was born, nor can anyone trace out the history of the jivatma's manifestation from the Supreme Soul. Therefore, it is beginningless. The Vedic literature confirms this. Najayate mriyate vav vipaschit, Kathopanishad 1.2.18. The knower of the body is never born and never dies, and he is full of knowledge. The Supreme Lord as the Supersoul is also stated in the Vedic literature, Shvetasvatara Upanishad 6.16, to be Pradhana Chetragya Patir Gunesaha, the chief knower of the body and the master of the three modes of material nature. In the Smriti, it is said, Dasa Bhuto Harir Eva Nanyas Yaiva Vedachana. The living entities are eternally in the service of the Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed by Lord Chaitanya in his teachings. Therefore, the description of Brahman mentioned in this verse is in relation to the individual soul. And when the word Brahman is applied to the living entity, it is to be understood that he is Vijnana Brahman, Vijnana Brahma, as opposed to Ananda Brahma. Ananda Brahma is the supreme Brahman personality of Godhead. Yeah, so the Vijnana the Vijnana Brahman is a living entity, and the Ananda Brahma is the supreme Brahman personality of Godhead. Text 14. Sarvata Panipadam Sarvato Kshi Shiro Mukam Sarvata Shuti Mal Loke Sarvam Avrita Tistati. Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads, and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul exists, pervading everything. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. As the sun exists, diffusing its unlimited rays, so does the super soul, the supreme personality of God. He exists in his all-pervading form, and in him exists all the individual living entities. Beginning from the first great teacher, Brahma, down to the small ant. There are unlimited heads, legs, hands, and eyes, and unlimited living entities. All are existing in and on the supersoul. Therefore, the supersoul is all pervading. The individual soul, however, cannot say that he has his hands, legs, and eyes everywhere. That is not possible. If he thinks that under ignorance he is not conscious that his hands and legs are diffused all over, but when he attains to proper knowledge, he will come to that stage. His thinking is contradictory, meaning nonsense. This means that the individual soul, having become conditioned by material nature, is not supreme. The supreme is different from the individual soul. The supreme Lord can extend his hand without limit. The individual soul cannot. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord said that if anyone offers him a flower or a fruit or a little water, he accepts it. If the Lord is a far distance away, how can he accept things? This is the omnipotence of the Lord. Even though he is situated in his own abode, far, far away from earth, he can extend his hand to accept what anyone offers. That is his potency. In the Brahma Samhita 537, it is stated, Go loka eva nivasati akilat mudvita. Although he is always engaged in pastime in his transcendental planet, he is all-pervading. The individual soul cannot claim that he is all-pervading. Therefore, this verse describes the supreme soul, the personality of Godhead, not the individual soul. Text number 15. Sarvendriya gunapasam, sarvendriya vivarjitam, ashaktam sarva chariva, nirgunam guna bhoktrir cha. The supersoul is the original source of all senses. Yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all modes of material nature. Very nice verse. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Supreme Lord, although the source of all the senses of the living entities, doesn't have material senses like they have. Actually, the individual souls have spiritual senses, but in conditioned life, they are covered with the material element. And therefore, the sense activities are exhibited through matter. The Supreme Lord's senses are not so covered. His senses are transcendental and are therefore called nirguna. Guna means material mode, but his senses are without material covering. It should be understood that his senses are not exactly like ours. Although he is the source of all other sensory activities, he has his transcendental senses, which are uncontaminated. This is very nicely explained in the Svatasvatara Upanishad 3.19 in the verse, Apani Pado Javano Grahita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no hands which are materially contaminated, but he has his hands and accepts whatever sacrifice is offered to him. That is the distinction between the conditioned soul and the super soul. He has no material eyes, but he has eyes. Otherwise, how could he see? He sees everything, past, present, and future. He lives within the heart of the living being, and he knows what we have done in the past, what we are doing now, and what is awaiting us in the future. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. He knows everything, but no one knows him. It is said that the Supreme Lord has no legs like us, but he can travel throughout space because he has spiritual legs. In other words, the Lord is not impersonal. He has his eyes, legs, hands, and everything else. And because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, we also have these things. But his hands, legs, eyes, and senses are not contaminated by material nature. Bhagavad Gita also confirms that when the Lord appears, he appears as he is by his internal potency. When the Lord appears, he appears as he is by his internal potency. He is not contaminated by the material energy because he is the Lord of material energy. In the Vedic literature, we find that his whole embodiment is spiritual. He has his eternal form called Satchit Ananda Vigraha. He is full of all opulence. He is the proprietor of all wealth and the owner of all energy. He is the most intelligent and most full and is full of knowledge. These are some of the symptoms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the maintainer of all living entities and the witness of all activity. As far as we can understand from Vedic literature, the Supreme Lord is always transcendental. Although we do not see his head, face, hands, or legs, he has them. And when we are elevated to the transcendental situation, we can see the Lord's form. Due to materially contaminated senses, we cannot see his form. Therefore, the impersonalists, who are still materially affected, cannot understand the personality of Godhead. Text number 16. Ahir antas chabutanam acharam karam evacha. Suksma vat suksmat tad avikeyam durastam chandike chatat. The supreme truth exhibits outside and inside, the supreme truth exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and the non-moving. Because he is so, he is beyond the power of the material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away, he is also near to all. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In Vedic literature, we understand that Narayana, the Supreme Person, is residing both outside and inside of every living entity. He is present in both the spiritual and material world. Although he is present in both spiritual and material world, although he is far, far away, still he is near to us. These are the statements of Vedic literature. Asino duram vrajati sayano yati sarvata. Kata Upanishad 1.2.21. And because he is always engaged in transcendental bliss, we cannot understand how he is enjoying his full opulence. We can see or understand with these material senses. Therefore, in the Vedic language, it is said that to understand him, our material mind and senses cannot act. But one who has purified his mind and senses by practicing Krishna consciousness in devotional service can see him constantly. It is confirmed in Brahma Samhita that the devotee who has developed love for the Supreme God can see him always, without cessation. And it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 11:54 that he can be seen and understood only by devotional service. Bhaktya Pananyaya Sakya. Text 17. Avibhaktam cha bhutesu vibhaktam iva cha stitam. Bhuta bhartrir chataj gyayam grasisnu prabhavishnu cha. Translation. Although the Supersoul appears to be divided among all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of every living entity, it is to be understood that he devours and develops all. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the Supersoul. Does this mean that he has become divided? No. Actually, he is one. The example is given of the sun. The sun at the meridian, meaning at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, is situated in its place. But if one goes for 5,000 miles in all directions and asks, "Where is the sun?" everyone will say that it is shining on his head. In the Vedic literature, this example is given to show that although he is undivided, he is situated as if divided. Also, it is said in Vedic literature that one Vishnu is present everywhere by his omnipotence, just as the sun appears in many places to many persons. And the Supreme Soul, although the maintainer of every living entity, devours everything at the time of annihilation. This was confirmed in the 11th chapter when the Lord said that he had come to devour all the warriors assembled at Kurukshetra. He also mentioned that in the form of time, he devours also. He is the annihilator, the killer of all. When there is creation, he develops all from their original state, and at the time of annihilation, he devours them. The Vedic hymns confirm the fact that he is the origin of all living entities and the rest of all. After creation, everything rests in his omnipotence, and after annihilation, everything again returns to rest in him. These are the confirmation of Vedic hymns. Yatova imani bhutani jayanti yena jatani jivanti yat pratyanti abhisam vishamti tad brahma tad vij nas sasya. Taittiriya Upanishad 3.1, which means basically, after creation, everything rests in his omnipotence, and after annihilation, everything again returns to rest in him. These are the confirmation of Vedic. These are the confirmations of Vedic hymns. Okay. Text 18. Jyotisam apitaj jyotis. Tamasa param uchyate. Jnanam yeyam jnana gamyam hridi sarvasya vistitam. He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge, and he is the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart. That's a very good verse. Very, very good verse. He is the source of light in all luminous objects. That includes the sun. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge, and he is the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart. Purport by his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Supersoul, the Supreme Personality Godhead, is the source of light in all luminous objects like the sun, moon, and stars. In the Vedic literature, we find that in the spiritual kingdom, there is no need for sun or moon because the effulgence of the Supreme Lord is there. In the material world, that Brahmajyoti, the Lord's spiritual effulgence, is covered by the Mahatma, the material elements. Therefore, in this material world, we require the assistance of sun, moon, electricity, etc., for light. But in the spiritual world, there is no need of such things. It is clearly stated in the Vedic literature that because of his luminous effulgence, everything is illuminated. It is clear, therefore, that his situation is not in the material world. He is situated in the spiritual world, which is far, far away in the spiritual sky. That is also confirmed in the Vedic literature. Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parasta, Srutasvatara Upanishad 3.8. He is just like the sun, eternally luminous, but he is far, far beyond the darkness of this material world. His knowledge is transcendental. The Vedic literature confirms that Brahman is concentrated transcendental knowledge. To one who is anxious to be transferred to that spiritual world, knowledge is given by the Supreme Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart. Now, that's a very nice statement. Let me read that again. To one who is anxious to be transferred to that spiritual world, knowledge is given by the Supreme Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart. Well, we should all be very, very anxious to be transferred to the spiritual world. One Vedic mantra, Srutasvatara Upanishad 6.18 says, Tam pa deva atma buddhi prakasam mumukshur vai saranam aham prapadye. One must surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead if he at all wants liberation. As far as the goal of ultimate knowledge is concerned, it is also confirmed in Vedic literature, Tam eva viditvati mrityum eti. Only by knowing him can one surpass the boundary of birth and death. Srutasvatara Upanishad 3:18. He is situated in everyone's heart as the supreme controller. The supreme has legs and hands distributed everywhere, and this cannot be said of the individual soul. Therefore, that there are two knowers of the field of activity: the individual the individual soul and the super soul must be admitted. One's hands and legs are distributed locally, but Krishna's hands and legs are distributed everywhere. This is confirmed in the Srutasvatara Upanishad 3:17. Sarvasya Prabhum Isanam Sarvasya Saranam Rihad. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Super Soul, is the Prabhu, or master of all living entities. Therefore, he is the ultimate shelter of all living entities. So there is no denying the fact that the Supreme Super Soul and the individual soul are always different. Because the Mayavadis, they say they're one. But no, they're always going to be different. Okay, we'll do text 19. Iti chetram tata jnanam yeyam choktam samasata madbhakta ita vigyana mad bhava yo prapadyate. Thus, the field of activities, the body, knowledge, and the knowable have been summarily described by me. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature, going back to Godhead. That's his nature. The Lord is described in summary the body, knowledge, and the knowable. This knowledge is of three things: the knower, the knowable, and the process of knowing. Combined, these are called vijnana, or the science of knowledge. Perfect knowledge can be understood by the unalloyed devotees of the Lord directly. Others are unable to understand. The monists say that at the ultimate stage, these three items become one, but the devotees do not accept this. Knowledge and development of knowledge mean understanding oneself in Krishna consciousness. We are being led by material consciousness, but as soon as we transfer all consciousness to Krishna's activity and realize that Krishna is everything, then we attain real knowledge. In other words, knowledge is nothing but the preliminary stage of understanding devotional service perfectly. In the 15th chapter, this will be very clearly explained. Now, to summarize, one may understand that verses 6 and 7, beginning from Mahabhutani and continuing through Chaitanya Driti, analyze the material element and certain manifestations of the symptoms of life. These combine to form the body or the field of activities. The verses 8 through 12, from Amanitvam through Tattva Jnanartha Darsana, describe the process of knowledge for understanding both types of knower of the field of activity. Describe the process of knowledge for understanding both types of knower of the field of activities. Well, yeah, there's the individual soul and the super soul.
Mhm.
Namely, the soul and the super soul. There it is. Then verses 13 through 18, beginning from Anadi Matkaram and continuing through Ridi Sarvasya Vistitam, describe the soul and the super soul. I'm sorry, the soul and the Supreme Lord or the super soul. Thus, three items have been described: the field of activity, the body, the process of understanding, and both the soul and the super soul. It is especially described here that only the unalloyed devotees of the Lord can understand these three items clearly. So, for these devotees, Bhagavad Gita is fully useful. It is they who can attain the supreme goal, the nature of the Supreme Lord, Krishna.
Mhm.
In other words, only devotees and not others can understand Bhagavad Gita and derive the desired results.
Haribol.
Going back to Godhead.
Yes.
Okay, I think we'll stop right there.
Yes.
Are there any questions or comments? Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Day after tomorrow is Janmashtami.
Wow,
Yeah. How do we prepare ourselves for Janmashtami?
go to sleep early
Yes.
because you have to wait to stay until 1 o'clock
1 o'clock.
in the morning
Yes. And fasting throughout the day.
and fasting till the sun sets.
No, midnight Maharaj.
Is it midnight? Oh, all right. Yeah, it's a wonderful day.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're engaged in Krishna consciousness, the day goes by fast.
Fast, yes. Yeah, that's it.
Otherwise, people will be there. Oh, I can't wait till
Midnight.
Oh my God. And then they'll break the fast early, too early. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they'll break the fast.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. 2 days from now. Huh? Wow.
Only one.
One day.
Right.
Yeah.
Today is Thursday, so Saturday is the.
Okay, so Friday, Saturday, yeah.
So we're going to
To
the
do
temple
the setup.
to do the setup now for the whole
Yeah.
arrangements.
Yes. They already started, Maharaj.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'll stop the lecture now.
Yes,
So let's have a chance to go.
Yes.
I'm gonna go to the temple.
Yes. Maharaj.
Okay.
You're going to the temple?
Yes.
Yes. Very good.
Oh, so